Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. How are you? Hope you're doing well. Let's make it public. Let's make it public. Make it public. Let's make it public. There it is. Let's make it public. Let me get into my live. How are you, beautiful people, doing? Hope you're doing well. Hope you're well. Edit privacy. Boom. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Yes, yes. How are you beautiful people doing? It's Tuesdays with Terrence. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hope you had a great week. Hope you had a great Labor Day. Some of you were probably on I don't know, Eastern Parkway getting your licks in. How are you? Good evening, Robin. How are you? Welcome to Tuesdays with Terrence. Thank you for the beautiful gifts, Miss Martin. I really appreciate them. I'm going to have to reciprocate, man. But good evening. How are you people doing? As people are starting, man, I found this artist, and I love him. Let me play some music. I'm trying to find the one I really want to play so you guys can hear it, man. It's some good stuff. Let me see. Hold on, man. Hold on. Let me get it out for you guys. How are you doing? I hope you're doing well. Robin, are you doing well? Hope you're doing well. Hope everyone's doing well. Let's start it over. Let's start it over. Let's start it over. There we go. The last time I checked, the last time that you checked, did you need God's approval? Welcome to Days with Terrence. Welcome, 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 welcome. Let me tell that. Let me tell my pastor it's Tuesdays with Terrence. Let me tell him that. Hold on. Get the band ready. Here we go. Last time I checked, good evening. Welcome to Tuesdays with Terrence, Life Insurance Awareness Month.
Everything is tight, that's enough for you and to give you praise.
Woo!
You're the ancient of days. Oh, what a wonderful feeling. Surrounded by the one God and feel the warm embrace. Oh God, my hands are raised, but when I use the pebbles and I turn on the news. For a minute I was taken back. Missing murder, corruption, domestic abuse. I couldn't deal with that. But I said, Jesus,
Yes.
tell me how you see. I'm free, yes. I don't want to be fair. And I heard Jesus say to me,
Last time I checked.
me no hair from the body. Oh, last time I checked. Blew my ways.
You know, the song says, last time I checked, I don't need any help from anybody. That's God talking to you. How are you people doing? Welcome to another episode of Tuesdays with Terrence. My name is H. Terrence Bardoui. Some people call me H. Some people call me Terrence. Some people call me Mr. Bardoui. Some people call me Little Boy. And even from Point Michelle, a.k.a. La Puente in the Commonwealth of Dominica, you call me Little Boy. Yes, the 7'6" 6'7" YT Kubuli, tall is her body. The Commonwealth of Dominica. Dominica made me. Boston raised me. Now the South sustains me. Last time I checked, God didn't need your help. And last time I checked, you know, I think the problem is sometimes we try to help God, and we got to realize that, you know what? That's not how it goes. That's how it goes. But this guy, his name is Samuel Medas, M-E-D-A-S. It's good. All right. Stop it. Because I might get a little crazy here. But how you doing? I hope everyone's doing well. Robin, how are you doing? Hope you're doing well tonight. Welcome to Tuesdays with Terrence. Elizabeth Dewey, my cousin all the way in Brooklyn, New York. Man, my faithful supporter, I love you so much. You are always there supporting me. And I thank you for that, Miss Elizabeth Bardui, all the way in Brooklyn, New York. Welcome, welcome. But I want to play this song for you guys, right? I just a little of it. I like it, you know. I was introduced to this guy by a friend. They sent me a clip of him, and then the whole song, it was beautiful. So I got the whole song. Here, I'm going to play something right now for some of you guys. Look him up, though. Look him up. He's really, 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 really good. Let me get it up for you guys here before we start the show.
I could tell you. Life is like a collection of seasons.
Life is like a collection of seasons.
No season lasts forever. You know? Things gotta change.
Esther Durant Cassidy, big tune.
Some seasons just circle back and go.
Yes.
I thought I didn't deal with this idea. But you see, if you handle that scene before, then you know the formula to handle it again. That's run to Jesus. You know? And you see it. And you see whatever he tell you to do. Don't say, just do it.
Once again, I found myself alone. But this time, I know exactly which way to go. With all my heart, I'm running after you. When you respond, I know I will never be the same. I'll raise this word down. It's right about my feet. No matter what you're asking of me, I respond to yes. Oh, there's no other rest like this. Where I belong. You always keep your promises. It's your joy that makes me strong.
You know what? This is Samuel Mattis, talking about God. He always keeps his promises, and it's true. Sometimes we forget about it, man. We get into our daily routines. Sometimes we make deals, we make covenants with God, and half of the times we break it. Sometimes more than half of the times. But God never breaks his. So what I want you to do tonight is just remember, you know what? He's always there for you. So welcome to Tuesdays with Terrence. My name is H. Terrence Bardui. Some people call me H, some people call me Havis, some people call me Terrence, some people call me Mr. Bardui, and some people call me Little Boy. If you're from Point Michelle, just like Lennox. If you're from Point Michelle, they call me Luca Boy. That's the 767 YT Kubuli, the Commonwealth of Dominica. Dominica made me. Boston raised me. Now the South sustains me. I have a great show in store for you tonight for Life Insurance Awareness Month. It's a new month. Those of you who went to New York, shake your pampalam. I hope you had a good time on Eastern Parkway and all that good stuff in Brooklyn and Bronx and wherever they had cookouts and barbecues. For those of you who were local, my weekend was great. At my church, we had International Day. It was really nice. We had all this international foods, roti, oxtail, all kind of stuff. It was good, man. And then, we had social on Saturday night as well. We played dominoes and Americans played spades and all these different games. We had a good time. And then on Sunday, I went to this, one of my friends who owns a restaurant in Richmond, Virginia called Jamaica House. Her name is Karina Chin. She owns Karina's Jamaican Grill and Jamaica House. And they were celebrating their 30-year anniversary in Richmond. So they had a cookout / block party / celebration from 11 to 7. I went. I had me some rice and peas and some salad. I said, yeah. So she had like steamed fish and she had curry chicken and this and that and chicken patty. And it was off the chain. It was a good time. I enjoyed it. But yesterday, it climaxed with a funeral. I went to a funeral. Good evening, Delphina Leblanc, Jean Lapointe, Sacafet, and Felicia, all the way in the DMV. Welcome. But yesterday, I went to a funeral. One of my church sisters passed. Young lady, 45. I mean, gosh, next month I'll be 60. So that was, she didn't live to be 60, which was my age, almost. But she passed last week, and we had a funeral. It was sad. but it was also joyful. Her children went up there to speak. It was funny, and they sat the song. It was really nice. They had a great send off, and what I liked about it, one of the her uncle-in-law and her aunt said something like, if you want to see her again, make a call in election show. And that's all I can tell you guys. I'm not here to preach to you about where you go to church or what to do. You just remember there's a hymn up there. You got to make your call in election show if you want to see your loved ones. Okay. But so the weekend ended out on a downer, and then we stopped and got some food, and it was really, really good. Today I had a good day. I will tell you this. This client called me today, and I declined the call because I was doing something. And then they called me to ask me a question about one of the accounts. I'm like, no, that's an account I did for you maybe 13, 14 years ago when I was with the other outfit, She's like, no, you did something for me in 2018. I go look up. I'm like, yes, you are. And I'm looking because she had given me a great referral too. And I have a great client through her via Philly. However, we had some talking and she wanted to do some things. Charles Robinson, good evening. She wanted to do some things. Excuse me. And basically what we did was we ended up creating an annuity for her. We're going to do a rollover of her IRA for protection for her. And so the day turned out good that way. There's some other people I have to follow up with. But the important thing tonight, folks, September is Life Insurance Awareness Month. And tonight, I'm not going to ostracize anybody. I'm going to tell you a little bit about the different kinds. I'm going to tell you about why you need it. I'm going to tell you why you should not procrastinate. And as a licensed insurance agent in multiple states, I get to a lot of funerals, whether it's church or clients and stuff like that. And I want to make it very clear. Life insurance is not for you. It's for those who are going to live, your loved ones, your children, your spouse, your this, your that, your boo. I was going to crack a joke, but some of you guys won't get. But it's not for you. So don't tell me you love somebody. Don't tell me you love somebody and you haven't put anything in place. I don't believe it. I don't believe you. I think I said a couple weeks ago, I had a colleague who was on Crystal, the Pistol Hollingsworth. She said that Britain, she said she's married, but she said she was single. She wouldn't date a guy who didn't have life insurance. And I applaud her for that. And some of you all need to start doing that. If a dude, especially if he has him, or he has people who depend on him or her, and they don't have life insurance, you shouldn't be talking to people like that. Now, this month, it's big for us. Life Insurance Awareness Month is something that started years ago. There's an outfit called Life Happens. And Life Happens talks about tragedies. It could be sickness, it could be illness, it could be something catastrophic, someone transition, all those things. And those of us who are in this industry, we understand the impact and the value of having something in place. Man, something in place. We gotta have something in place. And what I'm saying to you guys is, don't let anybody steal you. You got to plan. So let's start. So first of all, there is term life insurance, right? It's like renting an apartment. There is whole life insurance. It's like owning a home where you build cash value, like building equity. There is universal life or index universal life, which is basically a flexible premium adjustable life policy. That's the proper name for an IUL or UL. And then they have the variable universal life. That means it's backed with stocks and bonds, like a mutual fund. So that one can lose value. I have a client now in Virginia whose kids, when they were babies in New York, she got those for them. And those kids were like in their 20s, and it was like nothing. So we created something different for them. We created IULs for them. And then there's group insurance. A lot of you have group insurance on the job. A lot of you have group, and I'm not opposed to that. As a matter of fact, if your job is giving it, take it. It's just part of your benefit package. Your job is not. Let me miss this call. I'll call this person later. That's one of my hands. The job is not obligated to provide that for you, but nowadays the government is making it mandatory, even in certain states like Felicia in Maryland. If you have a certain number of employees, you have to offer a retirement plan. So if you're on your job and you have group life insurance, most people don't die on their job. Some people retire. So when you retire, you lose it, or it drops drastically. But a lot of people who retire still have a mortgage. I had a client, the lady was almost 90, and she still had a mortgage. She could afford it. She was making about $7,000-8,000 a month, income in retirement. But why though? At 90? And it's not like you moved. The point I'm trying to make here is simply this. If your job offers it, you take it. And as a matter of fact, if you want a lot more than what they're offering, you have to show your insurability. But you can't take it with you. And there's something Felicia might put in the chat. It doesn't have living benefits on the job. So this is Life Insurance Awareness Month. A friend of mine, I have multiple friends who go, when I post pictures, there's a guy in Charlotte, Mr. Campbell, and a friend of mine who's also in Antigua from Dominica, who go and just take my picture, and they will make little ads, or they'll make it like into a photo up, like a cartoon, or like how you call it, what's the word? I can't get the word when your avatar. They make it like an avatar. So my friend did this. Is September is Life Insurance Awareness Month. They said, "Do you have enough coverage?" And I posted that on my Facebook page. And you guys hear me talking about Life Insurance Awareness Month. I've been talking about it. I have a guest that'll be coming on. Felicia will be my guest too later this month. So when she sent me some pictures, I'll start to promote her. I can go on her Facebook page and steal her pictures, but I may steal the one that's too beautiful. I want the professional ones. But the key is, do you have enough? Do you know how much is enough? If you've been procrastinating, if you've been saying, well, I got to see what I got to do, and people when I start mentioning things that I'm not talking about anybody. I'm just making general statements. Good evening, Miss June Bardui Ansel, my big sister, my prom date from Boston, Massachusetts. Sakafet, how are you tonight? My high school prom date. I think I told that story before, my big sister. I'll have to tell it another time. But the thing is this, folks. Do you have enough? Some people cannot get it because they have chronic and critical illnesses. Something chronic means you can never be cured from it. And we shouldn't ostracize or look down on those people because it's not their fault. Some of it was hereditary, some of it was due to something happening. If you give a quadriplegic to a car accident and someone was a drunk driving, or you got some kind of health challenge that is chronic, it's not your fault. But there are things that are reversible, though, like diabetes, high blood pressure, cholesterol. Especially, I saw a post that this guy made on my phone colleagues. He said, if the king of Spain sent Christopher Columbus all around the world, all the way to the Caribbean and the modern world to to get spices. He was going to look for spices, right? Spices must be important, right? It's the same thing. When we cook, people of color, we like to season our food the right way. Because I know, first of all, when I used to eat meat and fish, I didn't eat from everybody's home. Because everybody don't know how to season that fish or cook it right. If you've been to your home and Esther the balau smelling fresh, or the kai or the vola smelling really fresh, and people don't know how to cook. So it's not my job. This is not a cooking show. It's not my job to tell you, what to do. What I'm saying here is that if you have a health challenge and it's something that can be reversed, is there a reason why? Felicia said we love seasoning. Yes, we do. Is there a reason why you wouldn't do it? Why? If I had the cure for cancer, and I don't, and you had cancer and I can cure it immediately, would you seek me out? So if there's something that you have and you can reverse it, I have friends, clients. One of my clients dead years ago, who had some health challenges, and they became amputees. I have family members who are like that as well. I have a brother-in-law like that right now. My point I'm trying to make to tell you guys that my job is not to tell you what you have to do. My job is to inform you that if you have something that's reversible, put yourself in a position to reverse it. I always tell people, you don't like your weight, do something about it. I'm not here to tell people that they're too skinny or too fat. That's not my job. Because some people could be skinny like me and they're not healthy. Some people could be nice and thick and they're healthy as hell, as an ox. But my point I'm saying here is that they talk about BMI and they talk about cholesterol, diabetes, and high blood pressure. That stuff runs in the African American community and people of color like crazy. And some of us don't want to change our diet. I saw yesterday Venus was cooking something and she had I saw a whole bunch of vegetables and stuff. I don't know what she was cooking. I was excited. She said, yeah, something's about to go down. And folks, even if you eat your meats, right, you don't have to eat it every day. I had this guy told me, well, my grandmother, she's in her 90s and she ate bacon every day. What am I going to say? Someone told me George Burns smoked a cigar and had a steak every day and drank a glass of wine. He lives to be 90s too. What am I going to say? See, everybody's not like that. Some people, what they eat affects their lifestyle. And can you imagine if you're married and your spouse have to take care of you, like an invalid because you wouldn't take care of yourself? Is that fair to your spouse? Is it? Okay, here's the caveat for you. If you're gonna do that, make sure you have life insurance. So after your spouse had to wipe your butt, right? And change your pamper. Excuse me. All of those things. After your spouse had to do all of that, you should invest in their inheritance. By leaving a tax-free transferable wealth amount in access. Because let me tell you something that you all don't know. If there's anybody on the show who's watching tonight who cares for a loved one and they have a chronic or critical illness and you got to do a lot of stuff for them, it's going to take out 2 to 3 years of your life expectancy. Sometimes you spit a break. And some people, do you notice both of my parents, my mother and my dad, died in school. One in 2020 during COVID and the other one in 2013. And the point I'm trying to make to you guys is simply this. Some people have said, I know, like one of my sisters, her children said they will never go in a nursing home, and that's their right, right? And I can see the love there, but what it's going to do to you, especially if you have a family, think about that. If is it fair to your wife or your husband? I'm just saying. But if you have something in place with living benefits, you know, you can have some fun, so you can take a respite. You need to get away for a weekend. I don't know, go get a tan on the beach. Go shake your pampalam on Eastern Parkway in New York. I don't know, go somewhere. But the thing about it is, you can't just care for someone and then they die, and then you live on, you die. You have to plan. And remember, I told you guys in the Bible, in Proverbs, it's a good man. They're talking about a man like me, mankind, or man or woman, leaves an inheritance for their children's children. I've told you guys many times, some people, their long-term planning is for this Saturday night. And some people, their long-term planning is for 2 generations, not their kids, but their kids' kids. And some people, their kids may never have kids. And that's okay. That's a choice. They don't have to have kids. But there may be something you care about. And if you live to be a long life, you want to make sure that you have ample funds to take care of those things. Yeah, you may have to get your Social Security and you get your Medicare and things like that. But Social Security and Medicare don't change Pampers. Don't wash, bathe people. Someone has to do that. So my client who died a couple of weeks ago, remember I went to his funeral, I posted him. What happened, his daughter moved him into her house, and they had someone that took him 24/7. But guess what? He planned. So for those of you who haven't planned, start planning. September is Life Insurance Awareness Month. My guest is coming next week to give you a story about one of their clients, what happened. And it'll blow your mind. And just who's watching right now, she's posted in the chat. She was on my show, and I don't know why I didn't bring her back for Life Insurance Awareness Month. Her husband, she's been on my show a couple of times, 2 or 3 times, I think. Her husband went through some stuff, but they were prepared. I call her the ABR queen. If you notice, it says Venus, the ABR queen, Stevens. I birthed her that name because she's always posting about it on her page. I told you guys to go follow her as well. 5 different living benefits: chronic illness, the critical illness, critical injury. Chronic illness, critical injury, critical illness. The Alzheimer's. I'm missing one there. The if you have 12 months or less to live, or 24 months, Venus helped me out there. And then the Alzheimer's and the fertility journey is not a ride. It's not a living benefit, but it's stuff you could use. What I'm saying to you guys here, folks, life insurance is not a bill. Life insurance is not a debt. Life insurance is not something that you let lapse. Well, if you're going to let it lapse, make sure you have another 15 other ones. So if one lapse, you had the hardship, you got others. But you shouldn't. It happens, I know. Guess what? If it lapses and you have to reinstate it and you're on it now or insurable, you can't get it back. All insurance agents and agencies around the country now will be having our campaign for Life Insurance Awareness Month. So, like I said, this term is like renting. Whole life is like owning. Index universal life or variable universal life is like owning as well. But the variable index universal life can fluctuate like a mutual fund or a stock or a bond. The group one is the one you get on your job. If you transition and you had $1 million in any one of them while they were active, that's a good thing. But terms ran out. because there comes a time you won't be able to afford that term. It's not a fixed premium. Group, you retire, you lose it. They give you, like, if you had 250 or a million, they'll drop it down to like 10,000, some places 25. That's all. You work all those years, and that's all you have to show for it. Yeah, it was very cheap because you got it on a group basis. In insurance, there's something called the law of large numbers. So when you work for a company, they don't use your health. They use the aggregate health of all the employees. So some people have diabetes, some people have high blood pressure, some people have heart disease, some people have this, some people have that, cancer. But some people are healthy as an ox. So all that is factored in. They give you the group. So you're not going to qualify. And usually you can only do it during your open enrollment. And then after you've started, when your open enrollment is over, if you want to get more insurance, then they're going to make you do, blood and urine because they think something is wrong with you. The same thing here. You did something and you want, we got some why you want more? Nothing is wrong with you, but we want to check. You might say, well, I got a big fat race. So we're going to check, and if nothing is wrong with you, you're good. But guarantees, folks. So for those of you who've been procrastinating, for those of you who told me you're going to call me, so those of you who've been lying to me, and I know you're lying to me. For those of you, because for the love, some people know that I've been doing this for a long time. I'm into my third decade now as a licensed insurance agent. But what I'm saying to you guys is that my mother used to say this thing and I couldn't understand it. Don't let too late be your cry when I was a kid. She used to use it for religious and spiritual connotations. Like that song by the Winans, Tomorrow, I'll give my life tomorrow. Tomorrow will be too late. It's the same thing. I have a client. I actually saw them yesterday. They called me one time to do something. I couldn't help them. They called me in April, but in December there was a diagnosis and I couldn't help them. And they've known me for years. Those are the times it breaks my heart. Because when my client transitioned a couple of weeks ago, it hurt me because I loved him. He wasn't just a client, he was a friend. This guy was good to me. I told you guys some stories how he'd save six-figure amounts for me to come and do stuff for him. But the thing about it is, he planned. He took care of what he was supposed to. He trusted me explicitly. Terminal illness. That's right, Venus. Thank you. Terminal illness. He trusts me explicitly. So this month, every day I'm going to be talking about, a little something about life insurance. Every day on my little walk, I will post. I want to be putting something up. It might be a picture of me with a little, you got enough? Something. It's to bring the awareness. People say, why are you wearing pink for cancer? It doesn't cause cancer. You sure is right. Pink don't cause cancer, but it raises awareness. Next month, we have Breast Cancer Awareness Month. The last couple of years, I've had my sister. I don't know if I'll bring her back on again because she's told a story multiple times. I might find somebody else with cancer, The reason why I bring my sister, because she's my sister, she's going to do it. Because she's the one who sings, you don't have to be a star to be on my show. But what I'm saying to you guys is this. Don't let too late be your cry. Even if you have insurance, get a little more. I don't care if you're single. Get the living benefits. People I've seen have issues for living benefits. I have a client right now who's a critical illness, and she canceled her policy not because she couldn't afford it. This lady, her house is paid for, her cars are paid for. I call her thrifty. She says she's cheap. I have two clients like that, one in Charlotte and one in Philly. And they said, Terrence, don't say I'm thrifty, I'm cheap. And these people are sitting on $1 million. Like that. over a million. But they're very thrifty. They've been savers. They're in the 70s. They grew up in a different era and they understand the value of saving. But the key here is it's Life Insurance Awareness Month. What are some of the reasons people don't get life insurance? Put it in the chat. What are some of the reasons why people tell you, like this one lady, someone's watching tonight, I won't call their name. They gave me a referral. I scheduled an appointment with the person. We talked. And the day of the appointment, they sent me a text and they said, I'm not feeling well today. Can we reschedule? I said, sure. I know they were BSing me, the person. But what I'm not going to do is I'm going to say, what day do you want to be next week? The person should have said to me, I'm not feeling well. Can we schedule for next week? But what the person was trying to do was to inform me, so I wasn't at them. And I know they see my post. I see their post. And I've seen them in person. I'm going to ask them. It's not my job to make you do anything. It's my job to inform, educate, pontificate, teach, show. And I do that every week. And it brings me great joy to tell people. And someone asked me, everything that you post has to have an ad for life insurance? Yeah. When are you going to stop? When everybody has a plan. There's over 65 million people in the United States that's underinsured or don't have any insurance. 65 million, that's a lot of people, man. 1 in 3 women will develop breast cancer. So if I call 3 people here, Venus, Felicia, who else is up here? Let me see. Robin. 1 in 3. Especially if you're African American. It's sad. Critical illnesses. It's not, some people don't want to do that because they think, well, I'll be all right. Someone told me they have 2 years worth of living expenses saved, and I applauded them. But what are you going to do after 2 years? You've depleted your savings. Because in order for you to qualify for Medicaid, which is government help, you have to have $2,000 or less. You have to spend down everything you have. 401k, annuities, bank accounts, investments. If you own a home and you sold a home and you are on Medicaid, there's a most states have a 7-year look back where they look back to see how long ago you sold that house. And they could, and after you die, they're trying to recoup the money that they spent on you. You know, were you aware of that? Were you? My client who died recently, that was something they were concerned about. But what they did over $50 years ago, they actually transferred the house in his daughter's name. And he had lifetime rights. As long as he's alive, he can live there. But he did not. They were not worried about that stuff because they planned. They planned. Are you planning? Are you a planner? Where I was talking to someone today, and I won't give the details of what it was because other people may watch and they might know who it is. But I was talking to someone today, and it broke my heart of what they're going through. And the person have done good over the years. I know what their net worth is. I've calculated it. I've seen it. But life happens, man. When life happens, what are you going to do? You can pray, you can cry. Praying and crying doesn't change life happening. Crying is a good thing because it releases all this tension inside of you. Praying is good because you believe in a higher power. Good evening, Alvin. It's good, but what are you doing? How are you preparing? Let me tell you, folks, I know life is hard. We all have trials and tribulations. So we live check to paycheck. Sometimes when you take one step forward, it's like you're making two steps backwards. You got debt. What if you have debt? Eliminate your debt. I have a program. It's called debt elimination. We can get you out of debt in 9 years or less, including your mortgage, student loans, credit cards, equity line, personal loans. Excuse me. We can do that for you. We can. The important thing is simply this. Are you prepared? Are you doing the right things you're supposed to do? Are you? Are you? So what I'm trying to say to you folks tonight is simply this. Simply this. September is Life Insurance Awareness Month. Check your policies. Make sure your beneficiaries are updated. As a matter of fact, one of my clients talks to me today about they want to update their beneficiary. And I'm getting them the form. Another client today called me and to ask me about they need to get some money just in case. And I found out they had about $60,000 lying around. Not lying around, but somewhere else. So what I did was I did a rollover for them. Some other people sometimes need help. Like this, I have one friend I was trying to help. And every time it's an excuse. It always for everything else, right? And I'm not mad at them. Because all I can do is, like the lady that called me today, when we talked, I said, well, let's check all your stuff. When I said, this is what I think you should do, she said, let's do it. We did it. She's no spring chicken either. On the 6th, she'll be 78. But we have relationships. Know me since about 2007, 8, 9, 10, around that time. You know, and it's important, folks, that you plan ahead. It's important for Life Insurance Awareness Month. You have life insurance with living benefits. It's important that your husband is protected, your wife is protected. Do it yourselves. Your kids, your minor kids. Nobody wants to bury a child. But what did I say? Who started Life Insurance Awareness Month? Life Happens organization. Life happens. And the funny thing about it is, I would fail to believe that you guys are tired of hearing me talking about the same thing over. You tune in every week. Some of the same faces, Delphina, Elizabeth Bardui, Robin, Alvin, Felicia, Venus, June when she can. Some of you always incognito. I can never see who you are because you don't want me to know. It's okay. It's okay. You support my platform. I'm grateful. This month, I'm going to be a guest on one of my business partners' podcasts for Life Insurance Awareness Month. When I come in, I'm going to bring the thunder. I'm going to not bash people, but reiterate the point. Reiterate the point. One of my greatest joys when someone's lost a loved one is that of the preparation that they did prior. I want to tell you guys something. I hate people asking me. People have hit me up because it's a death. I hate it. In America, I hate it. Because you can do something for as little as $25, $50, $100. You can get term, and then when you start making more money, you can convert it to permanent. It's sad. It breaks my heart. I'm saying to you guys, are you sure you're covered? Are you sure? You know, when pastors preach, like at the funeral, someone said, make your calling and election sure. Are you sure you're okay if something happens? Some of you are. I know some of you are. And I'm grateful for your support. How many of you have friends who've asked you about life insurance? You say, I know a guy. Someone told me they have a referral for me today. The person doesn't even live in this country. They told me I have a friend who lives here that they're going to refer to me. And my clients yesterday, I went with them, tell me about one of their girlfriends in Massachusetts, right? And I told them, this is how you nip it in the bud. You tell the person, I'm going to give him your number and he'll contact you. If they say, no, don't give him my number, they're full of it. They are. They say, what's this? You're not going to call me. People don't call me for insurance. And if I call you and you're not ready yet, I will show you the reasons why you cannot wait. If you all notice, I never really give you tragic stories of, well, I'm going to give you one. It's not to scare anybody, but I remember years ago, me and a colleague, I think Norma Bamba, she's my Facebook friend, and Norma is from Southwest Virginia, close to Roanoke area. I was Virginia or wherever we went to, and this lady's husband had no life insurance, and the lady wanted him to get some. We talked to them. We said at least put $25,000 in place because they were living in a small house. They didn't have much money, but they could have done it. Well, I don't know about that. I got to think about it. The guy went fishing and they drowned. Let me give you a tragic story. Sandy has a niece, her brother's daughter, who lost a couple of kids and I think her mother-in-law, in a fire in the Tidewater area of Virginia. Years ago, about 2008. It was all over the news. Can you imagine being a mother? You lost your kids in the fire. It's rough. It's rough. What I'm saying to you guys is simply this. If you're uninsurable, you can do an annuity. You can do it on a monthly basis, or you can put a lump sum in. Protect and hedge against losses of the markets for your 401ks. Some of you have old jobs that you used to be at. You have the 401k there, let me help you. Some of you have grandkids. Why don't you get a policy? Are you trying to tell me you got a grandkid and you can't do $25 a month for your grandkid? Why? All of you who got grandkids can do $25 a month for your grandkids. All of you. Why aren't you doing it? You get to pay it. And God forbid something happens to you and you die down the road, the parents know you all got to take over doing that. One of the worst funerals I've gone to is one of my friends in Boston. His kid had a brain tumor and died. My daughter was really young. She sang at the funeral at the time of Boston. That's over 20-something years ago. I had a boss. He comments on my show sometimes. When we worked at Sun Life, we beautiful young blonde kid. Then we believe the child died. I can't remember if it was the wife who did it, but child died. Little coffin. Those are the funerals that break my hearts when I go to children's, because it's like, to be honest, someone lived to be 95, 105. My grandmother lived to be 103. I flew down to Dominica. I went to Florida, pick up my mom, and we went to Dominica in the year 2003 for my grandmother's funeral. She was 103. I didn't even cry. I didn't want her to go, but she lived 103 years old. Long life. Around the time, I believe she was 100. My Pampo in Dominica lived to be 125, I think it was. And my granny smoked a pipe. So when my granny went at 103, my dad died at 91. The only thing that broke my heart is because we couldn't see him because of COVID. My mother died in 2013. She was 89. I don't want to talk about that because I might go off. But the thing about it is, I gave them their flowers while they were alive, but they live long lives. But can you imagine you're a parent and your kid have to bury you? And you're like young, or you got to bury them. Like the funeral we went to yesterday. I got a text from one of the aunts saying, thank you for your support and prayers. I gave the mother a hug yesterday, and the uncles and the cousins. And, can you imagine burying your daughter? Those of you on the line watching right now got kids. What would that do to you? But the key is, you don't get life insurance because people are going to die. You get life insurance because people are going to live. Because that lady who we funeralized yesterday had a son and a daughter. The son is like a teenager. The daughter was 20s or in the 20s. But the son is a teenager. Now, Christmas time, Thanksgiving, Easter, birthdays, you can get a card. It doesn't bring back. But I'm just saying it would be nice if, God forbid, a family member of yours, and even though they're going to grieve and miss them, they have funds to take a break off work if they needed to, go to school, start a business, buy a home, because planning was made. Folks, you can sit here, you can watch Tuesdays with Terrence, you can support me every Tuesday, and I'm grateful of your support. I know a lot of people watching the rebound or the replay or on demand. When people die and I say RIP, and I say rest in peace, some people say rest in power, and I say sincere condolences, I mean that. And I'm not trying to be selfish here. I don't have to respond like a RIP and someone comes to your DM and say, can you help? Especially when that person knows what I do. And for those of you who have it, do you talk to your siblings, or your friends, your boyfriends, your children, your husband, the people you care for? I equate this to this. If Lexus was giving out free Lexuses, free Lexus cars, all right, and I knew about it and I got one, why would I tell you? Why would I tell you? So as we celebrate Life Insurance Awareness Month in September, I don't care if you have term, I don't care if you have group, I don't care if you have whole life, universal life, index universal life, variable universal life, I don't care what kind of life. I just want you to have some. And I want you to make sure that your family is protected. And I want you to know I don't contribute to GoFundMe's, but I've sent some money to some people, who lost a loved one. I like doing it though, especially when you're in America, it hurts. Shoot, I mean, and if you're in a different country, you can see it's. If you're watching this show in St. Martin, call Atlin Pittman, Pittman, Atlin Pittman, Atlene. She's from my village. She lives in St. Martin. If you're in Dominica, I have a friend right now, a Facebook friend who does it through Sagicor. If you're in Canada, Delphina LeBlanc is watching right now. She secured something because she's a single parent. Her legacy is a son. And I've said that before. There's other people watching. Alvin Vassar, he's secured that. I know Venus has. I know Felicia has. A lot of you others may have. But the key is this month, if you don't have, this is the perfect month to start. Start small. Start with something. You know what? If you have a loved one that you can't and they can't afford it, you pay for it for them. A loved one, I said. Not just anybody, a loved one. The show is called Tuesdays with Terrence. My name is H. Terrence Bardui. Some people call me H, some people call me Havis, some people call me Terrence, some people call me Mr. Bardui, and some people call me Little Boy. If you're from Point Michel, the enclave of La Pointe, St. Luke Parish, you call me Luke Boy. Dominica made me. Boston raised me. Now the South sustains me. Dominica is called one tall as her body. If you look at our map, it's a long map with a point, 2 points. Port Smallford, Scott's Head. We're closer to Scott's Head. That's where I'm from. Anybody who's watching there from my village, make sure you secure it. Like I've told you all many times, whether it's me or whomever, just secure it. I prefer it's me. If you're not in this country, I can help you. But if you're in this country, it doesn't have to be me. Secure it. Jessica Bardui, all the way in St. Martin. How you doing, darling? My cousin, my beautiful cousin. Make sure September is Life Insurance Awareness Month. Make sure all of you guys secure some life insurance wherever you live. Put something in place because life happens. As we close, my baby sister sings this song. She's a Jean Lapointe as well. Maina. We used to call her Tamain. She says, you don't have to be a star to be on my show. You don't have to have 1 million to be on my show. In other words, you could do something for 25 a month, 50 a month, 100 a month, 1,000 a month. There's people from La Pointe doing more than 1,000 a month. What I'm trying to say to you folks, do what you can afford, but don't let too late be your cry. September is Life Insurance Awareness Month. And every Tuesday, I'll be talking about life insurance like I do every other Tuesday. But every day this month, I'll be putting something on my page about life insurance awareness. You can use it for a plethora of things. Most of the times, I don't give you guys all the information because you need to make an appointment.
Battery medium.
You need to make an appointment. So as we depart from each other, until next week, God bless you. Like and share the live, but tell your friends and family September is Life Insurance Awareness Month. Just like I see you all going walking for Breast Cancer Awareness Month, everybody may not get breast cancer or cancer, but everybody's going to die. And you have loved ones. Your loved ones, you get life insurance because you have loved ones. Your loved ones that are going to live. Good night, everybody. God bless you. September is Life Insurance Awareness Month. Good night. Let's go. Come, family, come.
Stand come as you are with just your heart, and I'll help you win.
I'll help you win, folks.
Are you rejected or hurt? To me, your worth much more than you put in. No, I don't need no superstar, 'cause I'll accept you as you are. You won't be denied, 'cause I'm satisfied with the help that I can provide. You don't have to be rich family to be on my show. You don't have to have a million family to be on my show.
Boom, that was the Jala Pointe singing by baby sister, Miss Amanda Thomas. She recorded that for me 4 years ago, telling you don't have to be a star. You don't have to have a million. You just got to put something in place. September is Life Insurance Awareness Month. Have a good night. God bless you. I love you. Like and share. This is the one you have to like and share because it's Life Insurance Awareness Month. The company that cares, American Classic Agency. Come in. Good night. Peace. I'm out. Hasta la